Hey, what's going on? This is Instructor Mike. Figured I'd go live and talk about this. At first, I was just going to record the video and then just play it, but I kind of want some live interaction, some live feedback. So that's why I was going to go on ahead and just go live. It's Saturday, November 30th. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. And this is unfortunate because we are talking about the loss of yet another police officer in a neighboring suburb of Chicago, Oak Park. This is a suburb that is near the west side. It is not exempt from the crime and the violence in Chicago. It's not exempt from that at all. And I'm terribly troubled by this situation because it seems to be that, in my opinion, for whatever it's worth, and I'm entitled to have my opinion based on my training experience and whatever the case may be, that this is another situation where an officer was probably not trained for the things that they had to respond to. And I'm going to be bold enough and say that. We can both say that the officer served in an honorable profession, and professionals like myself or better can also say when departments fail their members. But the best part about being me is I'm not tethered to any department. So because I'm not tethered to any department, I'm free to say what I think and have empirical evidence to be able to back that up. So let's dive into this press conference with the Oak Park police chief, because she is going to talk about certain things reference to this. And I had a chance to listen to it. So I'm probably going to chime in from time to time as they do say some of the things that they say, because I've got questions. This isn't like Chicago police, where they actually have an education and training academy. This is Oak Park. They do not have a police academy. So they have to send their officers to other places for their officers to get trained. Now, they may have departmental trainers on the inside, but that's a conversation that needs to be had. So let's go on ahead and listen to this conversation or this press conference, and then I'll give my. By the way, please share this, like, subscribe, all that great stuff. Let's go on ahead and dive into it.
Right. Good evening, Shatanya Johnson, Police Chief for the Village of Oak Park. Today, the Village of Oak Park, the Oak Park Police Department, and police officers from around the world are suffering. We're mourning the loss of our beloved Alan Reddings. He was killed in the line of duty today, serving and protecting the community that he so cherished.
Now I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. I'm sorry. I do have to dive in. Yeah, I know this was like really, why did you stop right here, Mike? If I'm ever back on the job, one, don't mourn my loss if I get deleted from this earth in the line of duty. I know. Trust me, I'm used to people not liking me. So throw your vitriol, throw your comments. I'm used to it. Don't mourn my loss. This is literally what comes with the job. Remember in Gladiator where you would, before the battle, whatever the case may be, you turn to Caesar and say, "We who are about to die salute you." This is literally what comes with the job. This is what comes with it. Don't mourn my loss. Celebrate my life. Don't mourn my loss. Celebrate my life. Teach the lessons that are to be taught from wherever there need to be lessons in that. Don't mourn my loss. Don't mourn my loss. I absolutely have no problem saying this. Don't mourn my loss. Don't. You do my life a disservice if you really care about it. Don't mourn my loss. It literally comes with doing the job. It comes with doing it. I mean, let's go. Sorry. I'm sorry. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my God, you're being insensitive, Mike.
Alan was 40 years old and a devoted father. He leaves behind to mourn his loss his 19-year-old son, his mother and siblings, as well as a host of friends and officers. Alan started his career here with Oak Park Police Department on the 15th of May, 2019. Prior to being a police officer with the Village of Oak Park, he did a short stint with Metro Police Department. My heart goes out to those officers that he served with. But more importantly, the work that he did here was so impactful. I personally knew Alan because I did his background investigation, and I quickly identified that he had a talent that was needed here. Alan was a committed officer who became a detective a few years ago. He closed substantial cases and helped us to resolve countless incidents. He was a natural. Today at about 9 a.m., he responded to a call for service for a man with a gun leaving the Chase Bank on Lake Street. He, as well as several officers, encountered that offender on the 800 block of Lake Street. After trying to direct the offender to show them his hands, the offender banished a firearm and shot Officer Redding. Banished a firearm, and after trying to direct the offender to show them his hands, the offender banished a firearm and shot Officer Redding.
You can't hear me? Oh, well, that probably helps. Sorry. So, how many of you all know where I'm probably about to go when I'm asking questions about how those commands were delivered, how these officers were positioned? I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong for saying these things? Just, am I wrong for saying, because you know I'm going to go there. Am I wrong for saying, and don't tell, oh, Mike, you weren't on the job. You didn't respond. Police run into gunfire. Yes, you do run into gunfire, but you asked him to show you his hands. You asked him to show you his hands. He did. He did, in fact, show you his hands. And an officer lost his life because of that. I got a question. How many times did we ask him to show you his hands? Yeah, I know she meant brandish. I know she messed up on that. I'm not even tripping on that. That could be a variety of different reasons why she said it that way. I'm not even tripping on that. But you ask a person to show you their hands, You got to be careful of what you ask for, because are you prepared when you get it? Here's an even better question for me. Given that I know how a percentage of suburban police departments are as it relates to in-service training and things like that, when's the last time you all trained for an active shooter at the bank? When's the last time you all responded to active shootings like that? I read that the last time Oak Park had a officer losing their life in the line of duty was 1938. You don't have to like me, but just 1938, if that's correct. I could be wrong. And due to the graphic nature of what you're about to hear, listener discretion is advised. Oak Park is it's a beautiful village. Oh, my Lord. Beautiful. It's also woke. Sorry, is this mic on? Yeah, it's also woke. Let me guess. 400 years, Black folks have been slaves. We have to be tolerant. We have to be nice. We have to be Black Lives Matter. Okay. Let's give them extra chances. Let's give them reparations. Let's do, And since the police department is a part of the executive branch of the government, and the mayor, I don't know the mayor, this is an attack on the mayor, but whatever. The mayor is the chief executive of that town, and the legislative body, the trustees or aldermen as they could be called, who knows, right? They're all on one accord, white guilt, if you will, Black victimization. You don't think that stuff feeds into the police department? You don't think that stuff feeds into the police department? Oh my God, you're being very aggressive as a cop. You got to tone it down. Tone it down. Okay. We'll tone it down. Rest in peace, Detective Alan Reddens. His last department was Metra, not Metro. Metra. That's Metra Rail. In other words, the train. Right? Don't get me wrong. You got some high-speed cops that are on Metra. When's the last time they've frequently done active shooter training or responding to banks and bank robberies and things like that? I mean, sign off in the comments. Am I wrong for being, I'm a force science analyst, former police trainer, firearms instructor, former police firearms instructor, current firearms instructor. So am I wrong for looking at it like this? Oh, Mike, you're not wrong. It's just the wrong time. Mike, you're not wrong. It's just the wrong time. You did it right when the incident happened and people are still mourning the loss. Officers who are watching me, officers who may be potentially watching this. Is this mic on? They love it when you're dead. Who do I mean when I say they love it when you're dead? The memorial foundations that get to use your name and your likeness. Yeah, they can't stop saying Ella French's name. I didn't even know who Ella French was until she passed. And she passed because of the politics and her having her holster in her and her having her firearm in her holster when she should have had it out. She should have had Montez or whatever his name is pressed up against that car. When you're on that type of gun team, it requires a different kind of mindset to do that job. But she was Cook County Sheriff. She was ex-ops. She should have been the police, but just not on that team. You're not really with the shits. Yanez being paraded around like he's some Memorial Foundation puppet. He's what, IOD now, injured on duty, I guess, or maybe he's retired from the department. I guess he can't do anything anymore. He should still be on the job. The officer in Chicago who begged the man multiple times, show me your hands or you're gonna get shot. Well, we know how that turned out. Every time there's a press conference, you would hear Superintendent Snelling or even Superintendent Brown when he was here. You would hear them talk about all the different firearms and things like that. On the streets, you would hear them talk about that. Switches, they got switches out here. Given that you know they have switches, you still don't take an aggressive physical stance in some of these situations. But they can't stop saying Ella French's name. They won't stop saying the name of the last officer who got gunned down. They won't stop saying, well, I don't know if Oak Park is going to continue to say Officer Alan Redden's name. I don't know if they're going to do that. And Oak Park is one of those type of towns where things like this don't happen in that town. So do you know what that can lead to? Is this mic on? Hello? Due to the graphic nature of what you're about to hear, listener discretion is advised. Complacency. Type it in the comments, you all. Type it in the comments. Complacency. Oh, type it in the comments. Complacency. Type it in the comments. Y'all do me a favor. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Put some emojis up there. Hit the like button. I don't want to say love. I don't want to tell you what to hit. Let's try this again. Complacency. Yeah, I gotta put my mouth near it. No pun intended. Complacency. That's right. That's right. That's right. Complacency. Yeah, complacency. And it's, yes, and if you already know Instructor Mike's platform, you know I am not beneath using a tragedy to talk about things that need to be talked about. You can sit there and let's blame the politicians. Boy, the politicians don't decide shit for you. The politicians don't decide shit for you. You have to be the one to decide what the value of your life is. Well, the law says, boy, what the fuck you talking? So you're going to let these politicians who go down to Springfield and legislate tell you what to do with your life on the streets? You going to let that happen? Okay, cool. Cool. If that's what you want, you got it. Oh, the Safety Act. Oh, the PICA. Oh, criminals are getting brazen. They've always been brazen. This is Chicago. This has always been a violent town. It's literally rooted in our history of Chicago. It's rooted in the history. This is not new. You just see it more because of social media, but it's not new. So I'm curious. Let's let the rest of this press conference play out, and then we'll talk some more. Carman Sean, you said, I think he should have took him down when he saw the weapon after he didn't comply. That's what we don't know. And I know some people are going to say, well, Mike, you're speaking on things you don't know. Boy, look, if you're responding to the call of a person with a gun coming out of a bank, that's a totally different response. That's a totally different response. And the problem is, how many times are we giving this person to comply? Well, Mike, you don't know. The call could be real. The call could be fake. Hey, tough shit. I'm only giving you one. If it's officers respond, I like to see the video from any cameras that were around the bank to see just how many officers responded to the call. Was this officer by himself? Was this officer with other partners within the same car? Because in the suburbs, and Oak Park is in fact a suburb of Chicago, most suburbs, you don't have partners. Most suburbs, you are by yourself. And here we go. He was a detective. He was a detective. So he may not ride around in a patrol car all the time, frequently responding to calls. He may just be working cases, which means there's a thing called, skills that are not often practiced or lost. And so there's a video on social media of the officers providing CPR on him. He might have been in uniform, might not have been in uniform. When's the last time he went to training for active shooters? When's the last time he's been to training for active shooters? You don't have to like me, but you know I'm not wrong. He was on Metra. Metra is not an active department. When you see them in the Chicagoland area, they're driving around in the black cars. Some of them have darked out tents and stuff like that, right? Some of them have that. Most of the cars actually have labels on them. Oh, they're very squared away officers. They look very well. They're very squared away officers, and they look very well. When's the last active shooting situation Metro responded to? When's the last Oak Park situation Oak Park responded to? How aggressive is their active shooter training? L228 said something that was very important. I work with retired cops for an executive protection company. Not one of these guys want to go out and train when I schedule a training for the agency. They all rely on their past experiences. Village of Oak Park Police Department. Chief, you all got this officer killed. If I were the family of Detective Alan Riddens, I would sue the police department under Title 42 United States Code Section 1983 for depraved indifference in failure to train this officer to respond to active shootings. I don't know if the lawsuit would go through, but that's what I would do. And it's not hard to find subject matter experts, including people, in the Navy SEAL, Special Forces, SWAT community who would gladly take the stand and say, yeah, these departments don't train these officers for these types of things. You would think they would have it yearly because of the casino. I mean, that's possible, but remember how I said and how I used to say all the time that departments do what's called litigation mitigation training, just enough to be able to show you that, we kind of put you through something, that we just didn't send you out there and we just didn't give you nothing. We put you through something. Yeah. Look at this training record. We'll put you through something. Let's watch the rest of this press conference. Oh, my Lord. Here we go. Let's go.
At 10:10, Officer Reddings was pronounced deceased. The offender was injured during this incident, was treated on the scene before being transported to the hospital. I want to thank our fire department as well as all of the officers locally and a distance. Our police department, we're hurting right now. I'm hurting. His family is hurting. Please keep us in your prayers, and I thank you all. Any information regarding his homecoming will be posted on our website. The investigation is ongoing, so I won't take any questions regarding the investigation. I ask that you all respect his family privacy while they deal with this tragic incident. Thank you.
Chief, this is the first line of duty death for your department in 86 years.
This is true.
Your officers aren't familiar with how to deal with this. What's going on within the ranks right now?
Right now, we have peer support with our police department. We also have, what is that called? The officer wellness, where officers are being treated there. We all have to go and do at least one visit a year. My apologies. And they made themselves available. We also have a very supportive chaplaincy program. All whom are here at the police department. I was at the hospital with us.
Where's the trainer? Where's the department's trainers? Where are the department's instructors? That's who I want to know. You're mandated to go to officer wellness one time. Just one. You're just one time. How many of you all remember when I used to be overweight? Right? I have no problem holding myself accountable to that. I used to be overweight. I'm not anymore. And I'm still losing because I want to get down to the healthy weight that I'm supposed to be at for my height and weight. I can hold myself accountable and say when I was a police officer, yeah, I was on the heavy side. Yeah, I was unhealthy. The departments, plural, did not have a physical fitness mandate. They didn't have any physical fitness mandate under any stipulation that if I were not in shape, that I would be flagged and separated from the police department. None of that. No training. Well, very little training. No physical fitness standards. These departments fail these officers. Well, Mike, you don't understand. I think you're not taking into consideration that we have to go through so much to even get officers on the department, Mike. we don't want to put a physical fitness standard on them, because then if we require them to be physically fit and then if they fail, then we lose our return on investment of the limited funds that we do have to get the few officers that, we get. So we got to take what we can get and kind of hope that they do physical fitness on their own. Okay. Okay. What is Dennis talking about? What are you talking about? I carry a gun for 37 years. Are you being sarcastic when you said that, Dennis? Moving on. L228. Not having a physical fitness standard is crazy work, especially when they might have to get physical with people on a daily basis. You do understand that if you don't keep yourself to the level of physical fitness you're supposed to be at for your height and your weight and your age and the stressors of the job that you're going to be on, you are very likely to get to what's called, that sensory nervous system dump. And you're very likely to get to a stage in that situation where you get stressed out even more. Your heart rate just spikes. And it is possible to do normal things under a high heart rate if you have a past practice of doing normal things under a high heart rate. That is very possible. That is very possible. Very possible. That's very possible. You got to stay. I'm just saying. Do y'all understand what I'm saying when I'm talking about the multiple failures of these departments and how when stuff hits the fan, how many times do you hear people in the Second Amendment community, even the police community say, F around and find out. F around and find out. Don't F around and find out. All right, guy, you can F around and find out what the law will do to you. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Pop, you can't even react fast enough. Action will always be faster than reaction. You can't even react fast enough. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. I remember in the police academy and in field training where they would sit there and say, you got to watch the hands. You got to watch the hands. You got to watch the hands. So pay attention to all of my face right here, all of my whole profile right here. Now you don't see my hands. Pay attention to the screen. And I would like for you to tell me, you're shouting commands. You're shouting commands. Which body part do you see move first? Which body part? Sound off in the comments. Which body part did you see move first? I'm still waiting for the comments. Shoulders. Bam. Shoulders. That was the first thing you saw move first. They used to say, show me the hands. Show me your hands. Watch out for the 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 hands. By the time you see the hands, it's already too late. By the time you see those hands, it's already too late. You said my eyebrows. Well, yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Shoulders. Shoulders. That's what you see first. Look, if I'm sitting here and saying, show me your hands, and I see your body posturing in a position where you about to, as soon as I see that shoulder launch, it's up there, stuck there. It's up there, stuck there. It's up there, stuck there. I'd rather do that and be wrong than to be dead right. Sorry. That's the nature of the game. That's what comes with being the police. That's where qualified immunity comes in. Because you're responding to a call for service of a person with a gun at a bank. When that doesn't really happen too much in our town. And then you get there. How many times did they issue commands to this person? How many officers arrived on scene at the same time? Because it's easy for Chief to sit there and say, officers responded. How many arrived on the scene at the time that they addressed the suspect? And when they addressed the subject, how many times did they give commands? Why are we begging? Oh, because the step, what is it called? The Safety Act requires that we give more commands. Okay. Now you're dead right. Now you're dead right. You gave him time. You did give him a chance. You gave him a chance to kill you. You know, let's have this conversation continually. You ever had somebody called, like they'll just sit, hey, don't make me do this. If you make me do, say it one more time. Say it one more time. And then you say it one more time. Don't you say it. Don't you say it one more. If you say it one more time, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Oh, don't do it. Say it one more time. After a while, that person will be like, boy, your ass ain't gonna do shit. Boy, your goof ass. You just talking shit just to be talking. Have y'all ever ran across situations like that? Like you can really tell in a person's mannerisms and how they are, whether or not they really gonna do it or if they're operating under the threat of force. And that's policing. That's policing these days. Say more commands because we pay attention. That happens to be the worst thing that society can do. Criminals don't watch the news. Criminals don't pay attention to criminals don't watch the news. Criminals don't they don't watch the news. They don't pay it. Please, what? They don't pay attention. They don't read the law. They're not interested in law enforcement. They're too busy out there doing riots and going down to Millennium Park and tearing up things and rioting downtown. And they're too busy on social media and doing other stuff. They don't have time. Yes, they do. They absolutely pay attention. They pay attention. Yes, they do. They pay attention, and active shooter candidates pay attention to. They pay a lot of attention. And they know, police can't do shit. Police can't do shit. Police can't do nothing. Ain't shit that police can do. They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing. So all them empty ass threat commands that they give, boy, please. Now, don't try that shit in Florida. You gonna get it. But I'm just saying, in Illinois, boy, police ain't gonna do shit, boy. And that's not true. Don't try that in 3/4 of Illinois. You will get handled for sure. But in Cook County area, please. Please. Don't try that shit with the state police, though. State police are allowed to police. State police are not going. it will not end well if you try this with the Illinois State Police. It will not end well. You might as well say the Illinois State Police is just like Georgia State Patrol, because they not playing. I remember a time during my internship where they had a no pursuit policy. Now, not only are they chasing after your ass on the interstate, but they will pit maneuver your ass. They are hunting for real. They are hunting for real. So don't try that shit. Please, okay? But Chicago, shit, all right. They know you ain't gonna do shit. They know you not gonna do it. They know you're not gonna do it. Now, Lefty said after 3 commands, it's time to react. Shit, it's actually, that's not a hardline rule. That is not a hardline rule. I say it depends on the situation. If I'm responding to a call of a person with a gun, you really only got one time. You really only got one time. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate you. You really only got one time. And I'm going to try to get on the loudspeaker and I'm going to try to say it to where the whole world heard from that loudspeaker whatever command we give it. If I don't see those hands after that one command, it's up. It's up. I don't care. It's up. That's the nature of the call. Sorry, it's up. It's up and stuck. If you don't know what that means, go to Urban Dictionary and look it up and see what it means. It's up there, stuck there. You only get one command in certain circumstances. We don't have time for 3. But Mike, 400 years. Policing has been very oppressive of the Black community. I stay woke. That's why he did. That's why Martinez, the last officer from Chicago, that's why he's no longer with us. He's no longer with us because he gave a lot of commands. You're working in the Black community, got to give him a chance. Okay. That's what they're counting on. They like that when you give them chances. They do. And once they figure what's to you and that you ain't going to do shit because you're afraid to go to jail, you're afraid to lose your job, and especially if you're afraid to die, you're done. You're done. And then you get to have Chief, who gets to show nothing against her, personally or professionally. I don't know her in any context other than her being the chief of police of Oak Park. But she gets to, and this is not fake emotion. This is not fake emotion at all. This is very real emotion. I have no doubt that the chief of police, is really showing emotion for the loss of, I believe she really cares. I really do. I just believe that the department fails its officers. What's going on, Destry? Woke ideology has police second guessing whether to act or not. Mama always said better be judged by 12 and carried by 6. Hello. If I'm responding to the call, and I kind of wish I was still the police, except I probably would have been in trouble by now. Shit. Might still be fat. Who knows? I don't know. Shit. If I'm responding to the call of a person with a gun at a bank in a town where I know we really don't have shit like that. Now, anybody who's ever served with me, and I know some people who are watching actually knew of when I was the police or my mindset, I was getting training that the department was paying for. I was signing myself up for extra classes. That force science analyst class that I just went to, shit, that class was like $1,400. I signed myself up for classes. I go get the extra training. I know the department don't give a shit about me. I know that. Like, oh my God, I used to be a training officer for a couple of these departments in the suburbs. I know they don't give a shit about you. So when I say the things that I say, I'm speaking from a position of wisdom. This is no fucking guess. This is wisdom. They don't give a shit about you. You're just a number. When you die, there's only few departments I know who retire your star. Most of them recycle your star. That's just how replaceable you are. Yeah, you're replaceable. You most definitely are. You're going to have the bunting over the department. That'll be down in a little bit. Maybe if you're important enough, maybe the flags will go at half staff for a little bit. And then after a while, you back to business as usual. Unless you're in Chicago. Oh, if you're in Chicago and you die, the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation will definitely keep your name going for sure. Oh my God, I have never seen Ella French's name so many times. Ariana Preston's so many times. Martinez is now going to join the crew. The dead crew. And this is not going to change until police officers, you can't strike. I know you can't strike, but this is not going to change until police officers start being willing to get arrested. Sorry. Well, I can't put my family through that. Well, I have no sympathy for you when you get shot. I have none, because you're not willing to sacrifice what you need to do to survive. You're not willing to do that. You can keep blaming the politicians. They don't give a fuck. They're not responding to the calls. They don't care. They are not responding to the calls. So they don't have to care. They don't have to care. They're not responding to the calls. I'm not saying violate people's constitutional rights. If you think that's what I'm saying, you're a whole fool and you should get off the department right now. But what I'm saying is this: if there's a decision to be made, if you're not willing to go to jail behind it, if you're not willing to get arrested behind it, if you're not willing to be convicted behind it, and maybe your case gets overturned on appeal and you get restored behind it, or you're not willing to get injured behind it, or you're not willing to die behind it, you shouldn't be on a job. Because all of those things come with the job. It just comes with the job. It's just like when she started talking, we are mourning the loss. Don't fucking mourn the loss of me. This is what's supposed to happen. I signed up for this. That's like the Secret Service. Tim McCarthy. Did I say his name right? I'm thinking of Gary McCarthy, this former superintendent. Yes, Tim McCarthy, former chief of Orland Park Police Department, who was the United States Secret Service on the Reagan detail, who made his body big and took that bullet for Reagan. He took that bullet for Reagan. That's what he's supposed to do. Oh my God, we mourn when Tim got shot. What are you doing? That's a part of my job. Don't mourn me. We wish it never happened. It happens. That's what they get trained for. They get trained to do that. They get trained to do that. It comes with the job. You don't get to sit here and say, well, we run to the danger when others run away. And then when you literally respond to the danger and you lose your life, Chief, well, we're mourning the loss. Look, I understand it's a political position. We got to make the family feel good. Look, celebrate my life. Celebrate my life. Hey, this is a hero who went out and did what he was supposed to do. We also got killed too. We also got him killed too. Like, is that a thing? You said, okay, but you still mourn soldiers who die and they also sign up to die. Yeah, I don't know. It depends. It depends on your mindset. It depends on your mindset. It depends on there's a mortician on YouTube. I forgot his name. But if you go to mortician support on the YouTube channel Wired, he asked a question about how do you address death with children? And the mortician was like, well, if you just have a conversation with your child about death, they can handle it better. It's usually the adults who parent through their filter, who over catastrophize things that are a part of life. When you are born, your death clock starts. When you get into certain professions like policing, oh, it definitely gets accelerated. It definitely gets accelerated. Why? Because you're in the profession where you're going to things where death is extremely possible. So you got to prepare for it. Like, don't mourn my death. Celebrate it. Like, hey, he died doing what he loved. Cry one tear, and you better move on with your life. If you still hold on, I wish he was here forever. Why? If you wished I was here forever, you probably should have convinced me to not be the police. How dangerous would you say being a CPD officer on patrol is? It's dangerous in almost any department because it can happen. It can happen in any department. It's dangerous just being the police, period. My question is, why aren't these departments training these officers for the things that they have to respond to? When was the last time that Oak Park responded to something like this? Oh my God, it's probably been years. I don't know. I'm just assuming that to be the case. Well, we got to be careful when we do these types of trainings because we don't want the public to be scared when we respond in this way because we don't want to really practice. We have to practice at different times of the day where the public is not there because we don't want to have a public scare and a public frenzy. Got it. But then when shit like this happens, guess what happens? Public scare, public frenzy. Fuck. Hey, William, you're not wrong, baby. You're not wrong. You said Oak Park may be like Highland Park. Yes. Well, context, but yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I just did the turkey trot 5K. They had a 5K, 10K, turkey trot, whatever the case may be. I did the 5K. Some of y'all see my pictures when I posted it up on various social media platforms, stuff like that. Oh, guess what they had out there now? Drone technology. Oh, these officers were ready for that time. But why did it take that situation to happen on July 4th with Robert Cremo for them to finally be ready? Why did it take that? Oh, well, that really doesn't happen here, Mike. So because it doesn't happen here, it kind of, we don't, we have a nice community here, we have family values and we have this and we have that and all this other different stuff. And so you ride around and patrol, and it's really the illusion of security. That's what it really is. The illusion of security. The illusion of security. That's what it really is. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't. I see I got 40 people watching on X. Could y'all comment? I just want to see if y'all can still see this. Shouts out to liberal Facebook. Facebook won't let this. See, and that's another reason too. Platforms like Facebook. Look, I may have to go back on Rumble. I may have to go. I know this is going to be posted on Rumble, but I may have to stream from, like I said, X, YouTube, and Rumble. Ooh, Destry. Come on, come through. Soldiers and Marines don't sign up to die for their country. They sign up to, what, for their country. Police should be the same. Don't sign up to potentially die. Sign up because you're willing to delete to protect your life and others. Come on, Destry. I think we can end the show there. Like oh, come on, man. This statement is so profound because there's a documentary on YouTube that talks about Marines and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, Marines are good at doing one thing. Killing. Like, that's what I had to say it for YouTube or whatever. But that's what they're good at doing. Like that's literally what you sign up to do. Now, if you're signing up to join the Army, infantry is designed to do that. Engineers, yes. Service, combat arms, yes. Combat support, kinda. Combat service support, kinda. Most of them just sign up just to get out the hood. Security and sustenance. But for me, it's always going to be about training. When I'm trying to analyze whether or not the officer was prepared for the thing they were responding to. Yes, I know. You can still be prepared and you can still get it. Yes. How much you want to bet he wasn't prepared? How much you want to bet that he wasn't prepared? How much you want to bet that this detective, who otherwise served honorably, was not prepared? And that's sad. That's very sad indeed. L228. I remember a coworker giving me crap for having 3 spare mags while working in detail at a school. He said, as if I was prepared for World War III. Well, I'm glad you were prepared. I'm glad you were prepared. TNT says, I bet you a box of 9mm rounds he wasn't. I can guarantee you he wasn't prepared. I can guarantee you he was not prepared. He wasn't prepared. Well, thoughts and prayers. That's all you can really do. Like thoughts and prayers. I don't know how anybody's an officer in Cook County these days. Because the politics are setting you up for failure. The departments may or are in fact setting you up for failure. And if you are not doing what you need to do to survive and to keep yourself in shape, look, I got to hold myself accountable. I had absolutely no reason to be overweight. No reason. None. It was just comfort food. Yeah, I was on the range and getting training and stuff like that, and firearms this, firearms that, rifle this, rifle that. Yeah. But I had no reason to be overweight. And I just decided one day to say, about almost a little over 2 years ago, the little kid in me was like, well, I just don't want to be fat anymore. I just grew tired of it. And actually went on a intentional weight loss journey. No Ozempic, none of that other stuff. Nah, that's not the right way to do it. I mean, if you're doing it, that's fine. Whatever, I don't care. It's your life. Just being intentional. And it's easy work too. It's long. You just take it day by day. Like you have to take steps to decide what you're going to do with your life. And I love it. I did a 10-mile Friday, the 5K Saturday. Well, I'm sorry. What was it? Thursday. I'm sorry. Thanksgiving. I did a 10-mile Wednesday, 5K Thursday, 10K Friday, and a 5K today. I just love running. It's nothing to eat right. A lot of the crap that we enjoy, it's not good for us. I ain't trying to turn you into being a vegetarian or whatever you do, whatever. It's your life. You do what you want. But I just love the way I feel. I think TNT, you said that. You're like, I was already happy before, but now I'm healthy and happy. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Look, hey, this is the first time. So it's been a minute since I actually dressed up, put on a shirt and tie. Look at this shit. Look at this. This shirt is big. I think it's an extra large. I got to get a large now. Look at this space right here. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be loose, but this shit is this. I almost don't want to stand up. This is too big now. This is too big now. Got to get smaller shirts. I just like the way this feels. And at 5'8", I'm 43. I'm not supposed to be 200 nothing. I'm 190 now. I still got a little bit more to lose. You just got to take the steps to do what you need to do. To just be prepared for whatever happens. You can handle stress better. You can handle stress better when you're in shape. When your cardiovascular system, your VO2 max, when your cardiovascular system is better. Equanimity is the word. Equanimity. 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 I'm going to put it on the screen. Equanimity. Equanimity. I'll put it in the comments. Equanimity. And I'll even put the pronunciation as it is in the dictionary. Equanimity. Mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in a difficult situation. If you are not healthy, this becomes hard. If you are not healthy, this becomes hard. Equanimity. Equanimity. Eating healthy, effective bowel movements, of course. Equanimity, mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in a difficult situation. It's hard to have mental calmness. It's hard to have physical calmness, if you will. If you're not in great or even a moderate level of cardiovascular fitness, you can handle stress better. Now, there's such a thing as unnecessary stress and then necessary stress. Responding to a call of a person with a gun at a bank is necessary stress. You said drop the workout routine? Shit, that's a whole lecture. How many of you all sign off in the comments? How many of you all, and those of you all on X who are watching too, you can sound off too. How many of you all would want me to start posting about what I do with my workouts? Look, if I'm lying, I'm dying, I'm flying. People are social media creatures. So when I say I got proof of the things that I've done, I made sure to record as much as I could throughout my journey. From the walks, because I didn't start off running. I did not start off running. Please don't believe that. But I kept a calendar. In fact, I'm looking at my calendar right now on that wall. And I would document all the workouts and things that I was doing. So I can keep track of the process. What I was eating, how many times I eat. Not religiously, but habitually, making a habit of it. I can't go back to being fat. And I'm not shaming anybody else who is, but I can't go back to that. And somebody sounded off in the comments and they was like, you look sick. So when you lose weight, you're sick. When you are overweight, you're unhealthy. I'm like, you just can't fucking win. That's why you got to do it for you. That's why you got to do it for you. You just can't fucking win. But I don't want to win with anybody else. I want to win with me. Joel Rivera said, I didn't recognize you, man. You look younger. Actually, I look like I did in my 20s, minus the, you could tell there's certain aging, stuff like that. But I'm happy for that. You know, it's life, it's whatever. But thank you for that, Joel. Appreciate that. You could just handle stress so much better. I just wish this detective was prepared more. Well, how do you know he wasn't? Boy, stop the cap. Stop the fucking cap. You know these departments do not prepare these people to respond to active shooting situations like that. Well, we go through active shooter training. Get the fuck out of here. You mean that airsoft play session? And you do it once a year, but we have to coordinate everybody's days off. Yeah, but when you're doing it on your day off, you're not wearing your department uniform. You might be wearing your vest, you might be wearing your duty belt, but you didn't have your Dunkin' Donuts. So you didn't eat the one or two donuts or the Starbucks or whatever it is you eat. And now you're stuffed, whatever. And you've been sitting in the car for what, 2 hours riding around and getting into certain conversations and things like that. And then suddenly, after having gotten comfortable and putting on that extra, whatever the case may be, and getting relaxed in your seats, then all of a sudden you get this call and it's like, shit, you got to recall in your mind space the active shooter training that you did some years ago. And then you got to think, damn, what do I do? But then you respond and you get there and you're not always paying attention to your approach. When you get close to the scene, do you ride up on the scene or do you ride close by, get out the car and get out and walk? Well, if you do that, do you have cover? Do you have concealment? Where are you hiding behind your car? How was the bullet able to get into the left side of your body instead of impacting the forward portion of your vest or the rear portion of your vest? Where's your positioning? Better yet, when you get on duty, do you play the what would I do if game if you're on patrol? Do you do that? Oh no, I couldn't do that because I got some cases I got to clear because I'm a detective and I don't work the streets like that. So I just spend time responding to calls. Oh, okay. So now you're not in a patrol mindset. Now you're in a different mindset. But you know, I can still work patrol too. Okay. But what are you in the habit of doing? You may not be in the habit of working patrol like that. So since you're not in the habit of working patrol like that, do you think you can still keep up your skills? Because you may once have to go back on patrol. And then, you know, we've had 1,379 days without an incident. But what happens to the 1,380th day? Oh shit. Oh shit. Damn. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Well, that's all I got. That's all I got. But if we're doing a tally, suspect 1, officer 0. I mean, I'm petty. I don't give a shit because until it really, I have no problem saying what you don't like to hear because I piss you off so that it stays on your mind. Hate me so that you can do better. I'm fine with that. Hey, stand instructor Mike. Was he right? Suspect 1. Well, no, the suspect didn't win. First of all, he got injured and he's going to be going to jail. That's home. That's home for him. That's home for him. You literally asked to show. You asked him. You begged him to show. You begged him to show you his hands. And when he showed you his hands, you fucked around and found them. Suspect 1, officers 0. He won. He won that game. He won that game. Checkmate. He gave you what you asked for. Tough conversation to have. Tough conversation to have. But it's one that needed to be had. Well, it's time for me to go. Until next time, America. Take care of yourselves and each other. I'm just playing. That's Jerry Springer shit. I can't use that. I can't use that. This is Instructor Mike, and you've been trained. All right, what's going on with you all? How was your Thanksgiving? I hope your Thanksgiving was great. Detective Alan Reddins, rest in peace. I'm sure the other officers will not learn from what happened to you. I'm sure we won't even see what body camera footage, what extra footage might be out there. Do you know they still haven't released Ella French's body cam? I'd like to see it. And that's Chicago. I would like to see Ella French's body cam. I like to see the position that she was in. I like to see how many times she had to beg or what happened in that scene. I'd like to see it. They ain't gonna release it, but I'd like to see it. I wonder if they use those body cam videos in training. I bet you they don't. I bet you they don't. You said it's time for you to get the cities to pay you for more training. It's a win-win. You know, that's not going to happen until the officers band together and tailor their responses to meet the needs of the demand. And this is what I mean. People got to be careful what they ask for. Remember, Oak Park is a woke town. So let's go there. Let's go there. And I was going to end, but fuck it. This is too good of a conversation to end on what I talked about before. Let's end on this. So let's just say Oak Park was able to be extremely instrumental, along with the other parks and the other towns and whatever the case may be in Illinois, to get qualified immunity eliminated. So now you got to get an insurance policy. You can go to State Farm, Geico, wherever. And you get a professional policing insurance policy, a $5 million policy. Got to pay on it every year. Oak Park 379. 379, go ahead. Need you to respond to the address of such and such and such and such, the Chase Bank, for a call of a man with a gun. Caller states that a black male dressed in gray shirt, black pants, tan shoes, gray shirt, black pants, tan shoes, walked out of the bank with a gun. Units responding, identify. 379, I'm headed that way. 485, I'm headed that way. Sam 3, I'm headed that way. 649, I'll be en route. Charles 1, I'll be en route. So now you got all these units en route. And here go my ass. 349, I'm not going. I don't know if I said that number already. I'm going to say 350. 350, I'm not going. What do you mean you're not going? My insurance doesn't cover that. Charles 1 is the chief. Charles 1 at 350. 350, go ahead. Charles, 350, you will respond. Negative, Charles 1. What do you mean negative? Charles 1, you didn't train me for this type situation. And by the way, I'm 275 pounds. You didn't require me to stay in shape. I'm not in shape to be able to handle that. 350, go on ahead and go 10-7, which is out of service. And see me in my office. 10-4, Charles 1. What about the public? You eliminated qualified immunity, which means the liability is on me now. And I have to choose whether I want to go see Jake from State Farm and explain to him why I knowingly put myself in a situation where there was a higher likelihood that I would have to do something that would cause the insurance claim to be filed. It's like reckless driving on good insurance. Do you all understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that part. So I guess this is a version of go woke, go broke. Is this the law enforcement equivalent of go woke, go broke? Because now you don't get quality officers who could actually do the job and stop the situation from occurring without unnecessary loss of life, because you handicap the officers from doing what they need to do, because we don't want the public to not like the police department, because we need them to call us for service and make us relevant. Well, you do get what you ask for. So good luck with that. All right, you all. I'm out of here. I'll be going live more on my Facebook pages. Nope. I don't know if I'm gonna be live on Facebook. Who knows? I'm looking at my live viewer numbers now. And I'm seeing X is up there, which is outstanding. I love it. Instructor Mike, my YouTube page is up there. I love that too. Facebook is just, I'm not surprised. But for those of you all who will watch, do watch all that great stuff. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. There's a lot to be thankful for. You got more reasons to stay around for those of you all contemplating doing that thing. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Dale, for sending the $10 Cash App. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right, guys. Hope you all have a good day, all that great stuff. And until next time, this is Instructor Mike, and you have been trained. Here we go.
What's going on, you? This is Instructor Mike. You can follow me on Facebook at Mike Brown or Instructor Mike. Follow me
It
on
could be you as a citizen, and you walked up and you see somebody. It look heavy? I don't know. Special, that must be. But it's good to know that this can handle the high pressure rounds of the flooding. Ready to go.
Make eye contact with me. He's still trying to get it open a couple of times.
So chill.